How can a male hunter lure a woman he likes into his nets? The demand for this skill is as high today as it was thousands of years ago. Our ancestors knew as much, if not more, about it than we do, as evidenced by the Roman poet Ovid's book, The Art of Love. It will be a real guide for anyone who has ever wondered how to improve their success with the opposite sex. Let's take a look at the advice given to aspiring seducers in ancient Rome. The first important point that some neglect and others are too eager about is their own appearance. When meeting someone, it's important not to make a repulsive impression, so Ovid urges young men to have a sense of measure.
Just don't dare to curl your hair with a heated iron or walk with pumice stone on your shins. Just be neat and simple. Cover your body with a tan from the Mars field and choose a clean toga that fits your height. Let there be no stench from your clean mouth or a goat-like smell from your armpits.
In general, you may not be a handsome man, but anyone can look neat. The same goes for clothing. Cleanliness, simplicity, and even slight carelessness. Yes, excessive grooming and a liter of perfume, no. One of the biggest problems for young men in communicating with girls is the fear of failure. It is because of this fear that many do not even try to talk to the girl they like. Also, there is the inferiority complex. How can someone like her like someone like me? On this matter, Ovid says, first of all, no matter what, you will always have to take the first step yourself.
The one who expects a woman to take the first step is too proud of his beauty.
Secondly, the Roman poet tells us what the right attitude should be.
Be sure of one thing. There are no women who are out of your reach. Just open your net. Each one will be yours.
Many are afraid of immediate rejection, but even if you get a cold shoulder right away, Ovid reminds us that the fact of your attention flatters the girl, as it is extra proof of her attractiveness.
So be bolder and place your hopes on anyone. Believe that out of 1,000 women, none will resist you. Someone will resist, someone won't, but everyone enjoys it. If a mistake happens, it is not a threat.
So the most important thing at the first stage is to accept the possibility of failure and to take it lightly. No matter what business you are engaged in, there will always be failures. It is necessary to perceive them as an inevitable part of the process. As it is well known, one learns from mistakes. And if you are rejected, the best way out is to look around and search for another. By the way, where to search? This is not as simple a question as it may seem. The poet warns us,
it won't fly down to you from the sky on the breeze. To take a beautiful one, you need to search and search.
But if you live in a big city, it greatly facilitates the search. Ovid himself lived in Rome, and where else but in the capital is something always happening? For example, various entertainment events. There are many girls, and as a rule, they are in a good mood, and not against chatting, otherwise they would not have gone there. Ovid tells us about typical Roman leisure spots, such as the amphitheater or the hippodrome.
The circus is also conducive to the beginning of love approaches. Favorable is the noise around the sand arenas. Here, above the bloody sand, the son of Venus fights. He hits the hearts of those who look at wounds accurately.
In general, in places where there is a large gathering of people, there are many convenient reasons for acquaintances and conversations. When you have chosen whom to meet but do not know how to start, then the spectacle for which you both came will become the best subject of discussion. The main thing here, as Ovid advised, is not to be silent, and also to show in every way that the girl is interesting to you.
Whose horses are these? Ask the neighbor with feigned attention. If the horse neighs, clap your hands too. Answer everything immediately without waiting for a question. If you don't know it yourself, say it anyway.
Invited dinners, which the Romans knew how to host, were also very suitable for successful socializing. The main thing to remember is not to rely solely on wine and to bear in mind that in semi-darkness, and even with a drunk head, a girl's beauty can be deceptive. In terms of conversation topics, wine can actually help loosen the tongue, even for the shyest of people.
Here your eloquence doesn't need our advice. Just be willing, and you will become eloquent right away.
For someone, starting a conversation is the most difficult stage, but it's a matter of practice. No wonder Ovid advised young people not to neglect the lessons of oratory.
Roman youths, I tell you, Do not disdain the science of defending shy friends in court. For not only the people, not only the judge and senator, but also your girl will succumb to a passionate speech.
But let's say you've started the conversation. What do you do next? There are those for whom talking is easy, but then the conversation doesn't go any further. In this case, Ovid describes in detail useful gestures of attention that will cost you no effort, but will certainly not go unnoticed. For example, the poet describes a scene in a Roman theater.
The smallest thing is the dearest. How often it is useful to put a pillow under the elbow for a tired hand, or to fan a neighbor with a fan, or to put a rolled-up cushion under their feet. If the beauty's veil slips to the ground, catch its edge carefully to avoid soiling it with dust. And if there is no dust, you can still gently dust her off, for such care is always appreciated.
In other words, do not wait for an occasion. To show politeness and care, create that occasion yourself, and don't forget about compliments.
Hearing praise of her beauty, a modest woman is glad, for each values her appearance above all.
And of course, when the acquaintance has been made and you would like to meet the girl again, you should let her know. Of course, you must act tactfully and cautiously, but you still must act. For if you limit yourself to just conversation, the girl may even decide that she is no longer interesting to you since you are not doing anything else.
The first approach belongs to the man, and the first requests as well, so that the woman can yield to requests and flattery.
As you can see, Ovid's advice to Roman men is very useful and applicable in practice even today, since the issue of relationships is equally important for all times and generations. So if you have been waiting for a long time for a sign to get to know a girl you like, here it is. Good luck, and may Ovid assist you. Let me know in the comments your best way to pick up a girl. And if you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to my channel.